Kieran, pleasure to have you back here at the Morson office. Now, your path to your recent success, it was inspiring anyway, but now leading Daniel Dubois to victory over arguably the UK's most famous boxer in the last 20 years, Anthony Joshua, in such decisive fashion. It must have been an emotional past month for you. I know I called you after the fight, and it did sound like you was getting emotional just talking about the experiences from that night.
Yeah, I think Jamal, that when you sit down and actually think about everything you actually achieved and where you have been and the places I've been to, the dark places and the obviously the old journey. It's not just about the dark places, it's about the ups, the downs, and to then achieve something so big. What people see as so big, and again, like, we knew it was so big, but again, we're always looking for. It's like always the next thing. It's the next thing. When we've achieved big things in the past, it's always about, right, what's next, and no difference again. You know what I mean? Like, I was actually I went back to the hotel. I only posted it yesterday because I was talking to David May about it. I went back and they were like, "What was everyone doing? Having a party?" And I'm like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I go." Kieran Farrell goes back to the hotel room, gets a cup of tea and a chocolate brownie at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You had a few chocolate brownies, though, didn't you?
Yeah. I've had a few chocolate brownies over the last 12 months, yeah. But that's because we've been successful, so yeah, it's good.
And walking out at Wembley for a huge world title fight was something that no doubt you dreamed of when you was a fighter. To get that second chance when there were moments where you thought you were never going to talk again, to walk out one of the brightest prospects in world boxing. What was going through your mind in the changing rooms when you was walking out at Wembley?
You know what, mate? Honestly, it was just, life's been like a mover. When I say that, I'm not just saying it because it sounds like a good quote. I'm just telling you the truth. It's been like a movie. I was over in Saudi Arabia, then I come back, and then I get a phone call, come and train Daniel Dubois, and I'm training Daniel Dubois. Then we're over in Saudi again. We beat Ergovic. We come back. We're fighting AJ. On my birthday, I was at the release for AJ and Finger. So when this in the round table where they're kicking off and all that, I was on my birthday. It was like my birthday present, you know what I mean? So, I sat there and I'm like, this is mental. This is madness, you know what I mean? But I'm just like embracing it and living it, you know what I mean? And I'm like just trying to enjoy myself as much as I can. And I'm learning on the job, Jamal. I'm learning on the job. And when I say I'm learning on the job, I'm learning about it. Like, I think every successful person will tell you about how there's no juggling with life and stuff like that. There's no happy medium anywhere. It's just madness, and you've got to embrace the madness while it's happening, and then just enjoy the chill when it comes. But like I say, for now we're not on chill. We're on full switch on. I power, and we're gonna do our thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been mad.
So I first met you in 2015. I don't know if you remember. It was Joe Calzaghe was doing a meet and greet night at AJ Bell Stadium, and that was 3 years after what happened to you. And Crolla was there that night when I met you. You're very close with Anthony Crolla now. Just looking back at the night itself, the fight, for those that don't know, you had a match with Anthony Crolla at Bowlers Exhibition Centre, collapsed afterwards due to a bleed on the brain. Very, very tough time for you. You had to learn to talk again. What was going through your mind on fight night? Was it a tough weight cut anyway?
When I fought Crolla, I'll be honest, and this is just the way I am. I only seen victory, and that's it, and that's all I've seen since I actually dedicate my life to boxing. And when I say that, I was boxing since I was 7-year-old, but I never dedicated my life till I was like, I'm going to say 15, 16-year-old. Then I started becoming successful, national finals, national champion, box for England, and then I turned pro. And I kept winning, and I didn't get beat. I got beat everyone. I beat everyone in my way. 3-time ABA champion, Olympians, everyone. Anyone. They all got a taste of Kieran Farrell, and I feel like I left my mark on all these people as well, where they know that the respect what I've got from these people in boxing is mad, but what's it called? Going into the fight with Crolla, like I say, all I envisioned was win. I was like, look, I spoke it into existence, a bit like when you see Conor McGregor saying about how he's going to knock people out. I used to talk like that. I'm like, look, 15-0, Viva Las Vicious, we're going to Vegas, this is what I'm doing, you know what I mean? And I feel like, look, tonight, everything what went wrong in the lead up for the fight went wrong. Everything. I'm like talking like I ate shellfish, didn't know I was allergic to it. I went to hospital. I was in hospital having Piriton overnight. Come back, I got headbutted in sparring. I've got a swollen nose. They've got a hematoma in my nose now. That kept bursting. Never had a bust nose in my life. Never had a bust nose in my life. And then this nose keeps bleeding. Then, because of the nose, I get a winning head guard with I fought Manny Pacquiao. They told me to get the winning head guard with the nose band, put that in front of my face. Couldn't see anything underneath, couldn't see anything from the side. So then I'm sparring with people who could smash all day, and I couldn't get the better of the spar. I was just getting my head pinged all over. As soon as the bar went in front of me, I'm trying to pull the bar down so I can see. And then next thing I'm getting it again, and it just weren't. Everything was going bad. Headaches. I was having headaches. I had headaches after sparring, and I used to spar every day. So I used to come back from the gym and I used to spar in a sweatsuit. I used to try. I like you say with the weight. I was always walking around at like 69, 70 kilograms, and having to get down to 61, which is massive weight cut all the time. And I kept my weight down so low because I started at flyweight because I was 8 stone. People thought I was taking a mickey a little bit that I've gone up from flyweight to bantamweight to featherweight to light welterweight to welterweight to back down to lightweight. You know what I mean? Like I think, but there were circumstances between each fight. The first 4 fights, 8 stone, 8'2", 8'7", 8'10". Them 4, I was only small, but I was still growing, and it went up. Then after that, I did grow big. I got told to be a 9 stone 4. I went 9 stone 4. Then I got told a day before the fight, we can only get Jason Carey's 10 stone 8. So I go like, look, I ain't saying no. I've sold my tickets. I want to fight. Get him in. Don't matter who he is. Get in, punch his head in, and get cracking with my stuff. So there was always an issue with the weight anyway in my career because of the reason being is I was growing. And as a 21-year-old kid, you don't really like, people don't see like my thoughts of it, you know, they just have their opinion, you know what I mean? And their opinion at the time probably mattered more to me than my own opinion, you know what I mean? Whereas then when I look back, I think, nah. And it's what I always say, you got to go with your gut instincts all the time. And my gut instincts was like, look, it don't matter if I'm a bit heavier or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I know I can do the business, I know I can still beat these guys, but I just boiled myself down to lightweight, knocked Joe Elfid out in the 5th, 6th round, and he was massive, and he was unbeaten. I knocked him out with a body shot. I was like, look, if I'm going to be this guy, then I'll be the guy. I'll boil myself down. I'll be the Brandon Rios of the UK. That's what they were saying at the time. Brandon Rios was a big guy. He was a world champion. He just beat John Murray and stuff like that. So, you know, I wanted to be like that. I'd be like, look, you want to tell me that I'm that? I'll be that, you know what I mean? And I sort of embraced that position. And then I wanted to do what I did with Crolla. Gone into the fight. Like I say, nothing went right. My daughter was born 3 weeks before the fight. That weren't ideal. That was because Kira was born premature. She weren't due till the end of January. She was born in the end of November. That was a worry. I had all these worries going through my mind. And then on the night, I'll be honest, Jamal, the only place at that time in my life where I was happy was in a boxing ring. That's it. So I can do what I do in the gym. They say, look, John Breen said to me, Kieran, I don't understand it. You've got because he knew what was going on in my life. He was like, you got all this going on, but you can still do that. I'm like, it's the only place I'm happy. You walk in that boxing gym and like everything shuts out my mind. It's my escape. That was my escape, the boxing ring, and I loved it. And we'll go into the Crolla fight, go in there, and I thought I'm gonna punch his head all over, and then I'm gonna get my win. And you know, that's that. And obviously we had that grueling, tough 10-round fight, English title, and you know, a lot of people thought I won, a lot of people thought Crolla won, you know, it was really that fight. It was that fight. It was the Battle of Manchester, and it meant a lot to Crolla, it meant a lot to me. And I said to, only telling Sky Sports this the other day, I'm glad that everything happened the way it happened. Look, there was no good me winning that title and being 15-0 English champion that night, knowing that I've got a bleed on the brain, because I was always going to collapse. I always had that bleed on the brain. So even if I fought the fight. It weren't like I got knocked out. We fought the fight. If I got my hand raised and I got an English title, Crolla was going working on a site on a Monday. You know what I mean? On a building site. That's how serious it was for his career. Because he got his hand raised and got the English title. He then got to prevail and fight Argyle and Ares and fight Lomachenko and become WBA world champion and he got to do all that. And one thing what I say about Crolla is like, look, he even again, look, he was like an idol of mine. I used to look up to him. He was 10-0, I think, when I was fighting in the Junior ABA National Final. He come to watch me. Anthony Crolla come to watch me fight in the Junior ABA National Final, and we didn't really have smartphones back in the day, so it weren't like a thing where. But I think now, when I think back, I think if smartphones was available, then you would have seen pictures of me with Crolla after I win the Junior ABAs, and like it was what it was, Jamal. I went in there with these great intentions, and it just went horribly wrong, if you will. And it's been like a mad journey.
Do you remember? I'm guessing it was a blur when you collapsed. Do you remember how you were feeling when you woke up? How long were you in a coma?
I was in a coma for about, I'm gonna say about, I think it was about 6 or 8 hours. I can't tell you the actual times. I don't actually know. It could have been 4 hours, but I was in a coma, and I do actually remember waking up. And when I woke up, my parents were allowed to come in to see me, and my dad come in. My dad's a big, strong, hard man, and you know what I mean. Like he's a proper man's man, and he come in and I'm tearing up, man. Yeah. He come in and he went. He said. He said, "Are you right, son?" And I said, "I just want to be world champion, Dad." Then obviously I couldn't be that, but he started crying, and it upsets me even today thinking about it, because it's not what happened to me what upsets me. It's how it affected my younger brother. He was in the ring with me, he put his hands on me, and I collapsed in the ring, and my mum was in the back of the ambulance and was having a fit, and then it sort of upsets me to the point that I've put all my family through it, you know what I mean, and I know that they don't blame me, and we all know that this is part of the sport, and like young Emily's sat there now and she's going to be getting in the ring and all that, but like I seen something said that Atlas said the other day, when the fighters get in the ring, and each time they get in the ring, they lose a little piece of themselves each time. And, like I said, talking there about the Bert Bivol fight and stuff like that, like Bert Bivol, like someone said to me, like, how do you think it would go next? I'm like you just don't know. Like, obviously the father time thing, it plays a massive thing as well. But Bert Biev, like, he's 40-year-old or 39, whatever he is, and them 12 rounds what he's just had, it might have took it out of him now. Like, that might have been his last big hurrah, you know what I mean? You don't know. So, like, you just don't know how it's going to go. But, yeah, like, going back to the Crolla fight, look, I remember waking up in the hospital and, I was like, I remember when I woke up and my brother come in after that, and because my dad, he couldn't stay in the room. Like, he started crying his eyes out. He walked out. He couldn't stand it, you know what I mean? Like, because I think that everyone's always like applauded me for what I am doing and what I am. I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter, you know what I mean? Everyone loves it, you know what I mean? But then we've had it all up here where I've been winning the junior ABAs, I fought for England, I've done all this, and then you've had it all up here. But then when it comes right crashing down and you're having it down there and it's the worst of the worst, like the worst of the worst, the bleed on the brain is the worst of the worst. Like, look, thankfully I'm here today to tell the story, but that's as bad as it gets in fighting. That's as bad as it gets, and I can say I've experienced it. And then when I'm doing this journey now with young fighters, I can tell them about my experience, and it's just, it's a mad one. It's mad.
And how you've got to where you are today, that mental resilience, it would have broken a lot of people. What you went through.
I'll tell you now, Jamal, there was times where I felt like I was broken. There was times where I felt like I'm done. This is it. I'm finished. This is what happened for me, you know what I mean? I'm starting thinking, is it like, I'm not like a massive holy person and all that, into like Jesus and God and all that, but then I've been brought up as a Catholic, and I'm like, so what is this what God's really got planned for me? Is that what it is? Yeah, I've put all my life into this. I've been out at 4 o'clock in the morning running in the pissing down rain, and this is what he's got planned for me. But then it's just part of the story. And they say, there's a quote what says, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers, and I'll be honest, I'm on that. You know what I mean? Like, I do believe that, like, it's happened to me for a reason, and like I can pass down my knowledge and my expertise into what I'm doing, and I had to follow my passion, and my passion is fighting. I was sat there on my bed when I couldn't walk, I couldn't even put my socks on, I couldn't even. I needed help going to the toilet, and I'm sat there watching Deontay Wilder knock people spark out. My brother went, "Oh my God, how are you even watching that, Kieran?" He said, "How are you watching it?" He said, "I can't stand boxing right now." I said, "I can't stand it right now." That's our Nathan, and obviously he couldn't stand it. He couldn't even look at it, and I loved it. I'm like, I'm not gonna pretend I don't like it. I love it. I love that Deontay Wilder just put this kid asleep. You know what I mean? I love the brutality of it. Obviously, it never went. If anything, it got more serious. It was like. I'm already addicted to boxing. I already love it. I already love getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning running. Now what am I going to do? I need to make something happen for myself in the sport of boxing. You're saying there's a few interviews from back in the day, 2013, after I'd be like, and I was slow, man. I was slow. I weren't even with it. I'm like, you'd be the best trainer I can be. And I listen, and when I look back, I think I weren't even with it then. I wasn't with it for a good year or two. I weren't with it. I opened the gym, I done what I did, but I weren't actually on the planet. I was just thinking, I actually thought I could get a boxing licence, and I applied for an Irish boxing licence, and they said, "Kieran, you've had a great career, it's time to call it a day." I had my letters from the, obviously, neurosurgeon that you can't box again, this, that, the other, and I'm thinking to myself, nah, Edwin Valero got told he can't get a licence in Texas, so he went to Japan and got one, so I'm going to get one in Japan or something. I'll do something, but I'm going to fight, you know what I mean? And I felt like, because I kept that same thing in my head, that thinking that I'm going to get a licence, that got me better. Then when I got better, I was like, what the am I thinking? You really think you're getting a licence? You've had a bleed on the brain, you know what I mean? And then that was because I was sparred with fighters. I've been in the gym and sparred with fighters. I'm going to say,
afterwards,
listen, I've sparred with pros. I sparred with pros who are fighting on the Carroll card right now. I'm telling you, I've done it. And I'm not proud of it, but I did it. I'll get him. I took a fight in the ring. Like, look, I've shut the locked the door so no one can walk in on me, because I know I can't be doing it. I'm not allowed to be doing it. I've locked the door. I said, get in there, bro.
But you need that adrenaline.
Getting me there. You got Kieran Farrell in front of you. You got to do something about it. You know what I mean? And
were the other fighters all right doing it, or did they feel a bit?
They didn't want to do it. But I forced them to do it. You know what I mean? I'm like, listen, bro, I'm all right. I'm good. You know what I mean? And like, they don't want to say, no, you're not good, Kieran, you can't be getting punched in the head, but and then when I start smacking them in the face, they've got to do something back, that's what it is, and I don't blame them for it, but then I blame myself a little bit that I did do that, and then I stopped doing it when Nick Blackwell had the second incident, because when he had that second incident, I thought, I'm a selfish just because of my own needs, my own wants and needs, that I'm basically going to put my family through it, because if something does happen to me, it's not me, it's my family, it's my kids. It's my whole family. I'm doing it again. I'm doing what I said, what I just got upset about a minute ago, putting them all through it, and then I'm gonna do it again. I thought, nah, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So, and don't get me wrong, Emily sat there. Yeah, she'd tell you, I get so giddy in the gym. Sometimes I need to be pulled back and like, look, you need to chill out. You know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, like sometimes I might think, oh, get in there, I'll do that. You know what I mean? But then there's no time and day for that anymore, you know what I mean? I've done that, I've done it all, and like I say, my career now, and my career as a boxing trainer, professional boxing trainer. I'm not just saying a professional boxing trainer. I've been an amateur boxing trainer. I'm not going to discredit that either. All the titles we won as amateurs, amateurs are a word. Some of the best amateurs are better than professionals, you know what I mean? So like all them titles you won. With the kids boxing, they're just as big as some of the titles you win as a pro, you know what I mean? So I'm a coach now.
100%. And when I first met you, you had that same drive, determination that you have now. You're a very rare person in that respect. You put your mind to something, you achieve it, you exceed it. You're doing stuff now that back then, if you'd have told Kieran Farrell in 2015, you'd probably say 100% too right. Yeah. I think with you wanted to exceed in a lot of different fields, didn't you? You wanted to be a promoter as well.
So I actually been to meet with Jed Mason. He said, Kieran, don't be jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. And I'm like thinking to myself, but Jed, you don't understand. I've got to do the matchmaking, I've got to do the training, I've got to do the managing, I've got to do the promoting, I've got to do it all because like I don't rely on anybody, so I've got to do everything, you know what I mean? But then I realised like during the pandemic I couldn't do all of that because like there were no shows to do, so I didn't have to matchmake a show, I didn't have to promote a show, I didn't have to manage a kid in that sense to put them on the show. All I had to do was the training, so I focused on one thing, and that was the training. And whilst I focused on the training, the fighters got good. The fighters get good. I'm talking like I seen Conor Lynch get better. I get better, and I'm thinking, the hell, it actually works. This, like if I put the pads on and do it, they'll actually learn it. So I'm gonna start doing it more because I was having success anyway with a few kids, but that was more like just that energy, the energy what I bring. Then when I started putting my expertise to it, let's think about it. I'm going to do this training and go double down into this training, and I started doing that. Then the managing and the promoting and all that sort of like, we're still doing it, but like it sort of been pushed aside a little bit. And then Jed said to me, I said, I need some bits of advice, Jed. So what's like two best bits of advice? I said, one's work hard. Yeah, I said, you do that in abundance. He said, number two, take chances. So he's left me with this. He said, take chances when they come. He left me with this quiz. I'm like, when are my chances? I'm like, when are my chances? Then I think to myself, every day's a chance to get better. Every day's a chance to get better. So you keep getting better. And then the chances come. And I know, as a fighter, sometimes you think, my chance ain't coming, but it will come. You know what I mean? It'll come. It comes. It's just patience. And I seen Conor McGregor say as well, like, you got to master the art of patience. Patience is hard, especially when you're younger. When you're younger, you don't want to be patient. I want it all now. I want to be world champion. I want to be this now. I want to be that now. You just chill. He's got time, and times you can't beat time. You know what I mean? You got the timing of everything is right. And look at Floyd Mayweather. Everything was perfect timing, and that's why he's 50-0, made billions, and that's him. You know what I mean? So yeah. Just got to keep focused on the goals ahead, and that's what we've got to do, Jamal. And I just think that it's been a mad long journey, but we've just got to keep going. You know what I mean? And keep going, and that's when we'll achieve what we're setting out to do. And like I say, I think with my own mindset, I've just been driven all the time, and I don't wake up in it. I've got obviously. I know people say I've got my family to feed and stuff like that, but then I'm thinking to myself all the time, even on my own individual thing, is like, look, I never ever let myself settle for being, alright, you're the kid who had a brain injury. No, I'm not that. No, you can call me something else now, because I'm not that. I got a British Empire medal off the Queen because I put my mind to it. I wanted to help out with the community. I'd done all that while we're getting better, and I got granted a medal off the Queen. There's only a small minority of people who have the medals, you know what I mean? And I can say I've got one myself, a BEM, you know what I mean? And then the next thing was, like you say, doing a promoting at the time, and then trying to take that to another level. And then the realisation of my actual skills are with what I do, what I love, the boxing. And this is why people are seeing me excel in my field now. I haven't been given nothing. And that's the truth. No one's given me nothing. I've got given nothing. I've started from the bottom as a kid from a council estate in Haywood, from Darnhill, and I've come up and I've risen to the top of 98,000 in Wembley, and that's not even my peak. I know it's not. We've got so much more to achieve. I'm on the phone to Daniel Dubois yesterday, to Stan. I'm like, we're gonna be undisputed. This is not a fluke. This is destiny. You rang me a week after I come back from Saudi Arabia, and if you rang me a week before I was in Saudi Arabia, it was over. It would never. But as it was, the timing again, he's rang me a week after. They've asked me for Ergovic in the AJ fight. We've gone and took Ergovic out. Nobody believed he could do it. I believed he could do it. The AJ fight, there were so many question marks, because it was like, AJ is not only a talented fighter, or Olympic champion, a two-time world heavyweight champion. He's an icon. And when you've got that, you can start getting swayed away. Oh, you know what, AJ might be a step too far, but no. we stayed 10 toes down and kept our head on it. And he trained like a demon every day. I'm talking 20 rounds of pads. And my pads, like, I can write you off of 2 rounds of pads. He's doing 20 rounds of pads, yeah, every day. Not one day, and didn't miss a day. He's done it every day, and that's elite level consistency. It's another thing for a fighter to achieve to as much as they want to achieve, they've got to have that elite level consistency. Because I can see kids who have got all the talent in the world, they've got all the bags of talent in the world, but they can't even get themselves to the gym for a sparring session. Or there's an excuse around this, there's an excuse around that, there's no excuses. It's go to the gym and do the work. That's it. It's as simple as that. And that's me talking as a coach now, yeah. That if you really want to be successful, there ain't no excuse. Oh, the car broke down. We'll go onto the side of the road and do your press ups there. You've got to do it. There's no. And I say this to my son. My son's 8-year-old. I'm like, it's non-negotiable. You got to do your 300 reps at night. You've got to do it. And he's looking at me, I'm like, and my missus is like, you're so bad, you. I'm like, I'm not. Because do you want your kid to be like, just going through life? No, I don't. I want my kid to achieve. I want him to be as successful as I am, you know what I mean? I want him to be more successful than I am. I want him to have an OBE, not an MBE or a BM. that's not just phrase, that's Kira as well. I want him to achieve, and I'm like, and for any kid, this is not, and don't have to be my children, but any kid who comes into the gym who trains with me, people look at me and think, oh, look, he's in Saudi's here. No, you can be there. All you got to do is put your mind to it and stop having these outside distractions, because they're no good. Them outside distractions are no good, and the excuses are no good. There's no excuses. You've got to find a way to do it. You've got to keep doing it, you know what I mean? And it's hard, Jamal, because I don't want these to just be words. It's like, when people say, oh, work hard, you know, no days off and all, that's just words. That's just words. People can put it, oh, no days off. I'm talking no days off. I'm up in the gym. I've been in the gym at the people's gym 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm putting hours in. There was one day I done 23 private sessions, 45-minute blocks, 23 private sessions, in, out, all day till 11 o'clock at night. I done that. And I'm not saying, right, that was the past of me. Look, I've got that work ethic, man, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's like now, for instance, yeah, just the fields of the way I am and where I'm going, it's just different places and different things, you know what I mean? So like, I might not have 23 private sessions in the gym now, but you trust me, my phone doesn't stop. My phone does not stop. It's just like, I'm like all day, all night. My life is what I do. I do boxing, you know what I mean? And this is what I do. So like, there's so much things what I've got to do with it, and you know, there's no switch off button. There ain't a switch off button. Like, it's like we said, we'll get Dubois' fight out of the way, and then we'll chill. Like, look, there ain't no chill. No, there was a fight the week after. There was a fight the week after that. Emily's fighting at the end of the month, which what we're here for now. There ain't no chill. I'm even saying now we'll get Emily's fight out of the way, but I've already been told we're going back to training camp. We've got a training camp starting. I've got to start that Monday. I've got to go to Daniel's house Monday to start. We're starting training camp Monday, and we're going to go through things, and we're going to start. And I already know what's next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we both know.
Nah, you don't. You don't.
It's
a swerve. It's not. Wow. It's not what you think. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a mad one. It's a mad one.
Same time of year, we think, in February.
It's in February. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to training camp. I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah,
I'll tell you off camera. But yeah, we're going to training camp, and what's it called, Jamal? It doesn't stop. Emily's fight's done, and she'll have a week off. I just told Emily to enjoy herself because she won the European title and then come to the gym the next day. I'm like, no, there's none of that. You know what I mean? Like, start enjoying this now. You know what I mean? Because this is the journey. The journey is all the ups and downs, and the journey is the last 12, 18 months what she's had out the ring, with her father passing away and stuff like that. And I know it's emotional for Emily. So look, it's the victory on Saturday's going to be sweet, and then she's got to enjoy herself, you know what I mean? She's 19-year-old, she can do whatever she wants. Go to the Lake District, go do what she's got to do, you know what I mean? And she's got to enjoy herself, you know what I mean? That's it.
You know, you mentioned it's not just about your family in terms of seeing the youth succeed. Emily's very important to you. Even Daniel, young guy for a heavyweight.
Yep.
Why is it so important to you to see youth succeed, and how much of a buzz does it give you to see all the time that you've invested in someone, and then it's not about repaying you, it's about repaying themselves for the time they've put in as well.
Yeah, again, Jamal, I might just be a weirdo, man, you know what I mean? Because like we beat AJ, and like I'll be honest, I had a cup of tea and a chocolate brownie at 2:00 in the morning, and then I went back home, and then it was like, well, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like I say, and you know, don't get me wrong, victory was so sweet. You know what I mean? It was great. You know what I mean? But then it's always like, this is life. We don't want to get hung up on that one thing. Like, I don't want to get hung up on, oh, Kieran had to bleed on the brain. That's him. You know what I mean? No. Or we beat Daniel Dubois, beat AJ at Wembley in front of 98,000. That's not it. It's what's next. We'll keep prevailing and keep pushing through and see what we can actually achieve. Because if you keep pushing yourself out there, you can only see how much you can achieve then, you know what I mean? And like, going back to your question, Jamal, obviously I think with Emily, she started with me when she was like 13, 14 year old, so like, you know, she'd been with me since she was very young, you know what I mean? And all the things we actually did achieve, you know what I mean, like the European gold medal and the national titles and all that, boxing for England about 20 times, you know, like she done all that, and you know, she'd been very successful with it, and you know, to take a young fighter from there to the professional debut on a massive stage, being DAZN, Eddie Earn's Matchroom show and all that, I think it's great, you know what I mean? So that's just the start of things for Emily, you know what I mean? And with Daniel, I know I worked with Daniel from the start, but I know Daniel's journey from the start. You know, I followed Daniel from the start of his actual pro career. I've always been a fan of Daniel Dubois, and Daniel's a top guy, you know what I mean? And I see him every day in the gym, so the time invested into him, you know, like I say, it's not like, all right, it's a great for me, because I just buzz for them as well, you know what I mean? But then, again, Jamal, all the kids who was in the gym back in the day, the People's Gym, who took my advice, stayed on course and done the thing, and they're going and they're achieving, you know what I mean? And it's not like I'm the magician who can make it happen. I'm not. It's actually within themselves who can make it happen. It's me identifying, look, this is what you can achieve, and this is what you can achieve if you put the work in, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's helping people out. I think helping people out is like, look, that's the way forward in life. If you keep helping people out, it returns greatly and massively to you. And it's not even about the return, it's about what you can do for them, you know what I mean? And I think that, like I say, all them kids who was in the gym, and you know, I know that I positively impacted their lives through the boxing gym. When I was 13-year-old kid, I'm gonna be like, I am Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? Or when I was 13-year-old kid, I'm like looking at, I don't know, the Beatles. It's like, what, I do a boy band, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's like, yeah, big dreams. And I feel like maybe social media lost it a little bit for everyone, you know what I mean? Like, what you were like, because of people's opinions, like, people think they're scared to actually say what they really want to be. But I'm not scared of that. I'm not bothered. I couldn't really give an F about what people think about me in general now. You know, I've been to a point where I did actually give an F, but I don't anymore. And when I say that, it's because I've always followed my gut instincts. If I follow my gut instinct, then I know that I'm going to the right place. And if I follow the good advice from good people around me, then I'm going to get there, you know what I mean? I was on the phone to David May the other day, former Manchester United, class of 92 and all that, you know what I mean? Like, and he was telling me about winning with Daniel Dubois, like winning the treble title and all that, like back in the day with the Man United team. I'm like, I'm just buzzing to be able to share the experiences and share the stories with the likes of David May. David May, I used to have a Corinthian of him, a football player, a big head of him when I was a kid. Paul Scholes followed me on Instagram the other day. Paul Scholes followed Kieran Farrell on Instagram. What?
Massive.
This is Paul Scholes. That's Paul Scholes. Honestly, I remember my mate Jake Warwick in year 2. We were doing stickers. He's like, got Scholes there. I'm like, and he was like, oh mate, swap me this for Scholes. And I'm like, honestly, like the stickers.
Crazy.
Honestly, like life's mad. This what I'm saying is a movie. Just Paul Scholes followed me on Instagram for it's madness, mate. Honestly, it's mad. But yeah, it's just,
it all, mate.
Yeah, that's it. But you gotta keep pushing it. You know what I mean? We can't just stop there because Paul Scholes is following us. We gotta keep going. You know what I mean? That's it, mate. Yeah, I'm a massive Ronaldo fan.
Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney.
Rooney's better than
Rooney.
Right, we'll leave it there.
Buzzing.
I really appreciate the time. As I said at the beginning, your journey is nothing short of inspirational, and it's only just getting started, isn't it?
Thank you, Jamal. Nice one, mate.
Appreciate it.